Okay, so as you mentioned, the movement here is really robotic and really even. It has no ease in and ease out because it's a computer, and the computer doesn't know where you want an object to slow down or speed up. That's where you come in as an animator. So After Effects has a really simple shortcut. It's F9. Watch these little diamonds, and as I hit F9, they're all going to turn into little hourglasses. And what that's called in After Effects is Easy Ease. Sounds like some sort of oven cleaner. But what it does is it puts an automatic ease in and ease out on all the keyframes that are selected. And again, you just select the keyframes by clicking on them or sort of dragging uh, a boundary box around it, or you can sort of shift click if you want multiple keyframes. So you could lay the easy ease on all of them or none of them, depending on how you want the movement to move through. Um, so that's one way of sort of easily getting ease in, ease out, but you don't always want a generic ease in and ease out on your movement. Again, this is just the computer laying down a basic formula for everything. If you want to have more control over your ease in, ease out, one option is obviously just laying an extra keyframe. So you could manually, if I just hit undo, undo, you could just manually eyeball it. There's not an easy way to do onion skinning in After Effects without using the puppet tool. So it's a little tricky, but you could theoretically just key it by hand. Um, the third option is using the graph editor. So the graph editor is right here, and if I, it looks like a graph right above your timeline, and if you click on it, it will bring up basically a graph of the movement. So this is what it looks like without any ease on it. Again, if I hit F9, doo-ba-doo-ba-doo, or let me see, make sure that everything is selected. Nothing is selected, so if I select all my keyframes and go to my graph editor and then hit F9, or where is it doing? Selected properties. Why aren't you? Okay, let me back up. Okay, so what you would do is you would select the keyframes that you would want to manipulate, go into the graph editor, and it's a little confusing because none of that selection will carry over. You basically have to reselect it here. So you're gonna, again, if you have like the V tool selected, you could select specific keyframes. Okay, I'm just gonna back up here. So Okay, so the third option that you have available to you past the easy ease and sort of just hand keying ease in, ease out is using the graph editor. So those of you who have worked with Maya would be familiar with this. And what this is looking at the movement, the transform properties in terms of position on a graph. So it's this little graph icon right here, and if you click into it, you'll then see all the keyframes for the rotation property mapped out as data points. So I'm not quite sure what you'll see on your screen as the default. Right now the default is showing the value graph. So it's basically showing the percentage of the hand rotation is at 113 degrees here, it's at 66 degrees here. You know, it's very mathematical. You can also look at the speed graph, which is showing the speed. So basically you see that it's just, there's no sort of softness between transitions. This is what's called uh, a stepped tween. So in order to get in, you know, just to kind of show you the difference, if you select these, again, the selection that you have in the layer view does not carry over to the graph view. What you could do is just select them and go to easy ease right here. There's also an easy ease in and an easy ease out. I'm not sure if you can see it in the capture, so no, I think it's following my window. I apologize. If I select this, then it's going to sort of curve everything into beautiful, you know, I call them McDonald's curves, but they're parabolic curves. And this is showing the ease. So that's what the difference looks like between no ease and sort of a nice ease in, ease out on all the different data points. Again, you can sort of see what the value graph looks. It looks a little bit different. Most people work in the speed graph, but I think it's also personal preference. You could select them to held keyframes, which is just no transition. Again, you could do easy ease in, easy ease out. You just hit undo. There we go. Easy ease in looks different than easy ease out. And then what you can do is take these Bezier points and, select them one by one, hold down. Should be able to hold down the handles, the Bezier curves, and manipulate them. I don't tend to animate with the graph editor. I'll be completely honest. This is why I don't do Maya. But a lot of people do enjoy it, and they do like the amount of control that this gives them over their animation. So again, this is kind of a sampler module where it's showing you these are the tools that you'll probably often see. And if this seems to really make sense to you and you're sort of jazzed to animate this way, that's great. There are tons of tutorials out there that will go into the nitty gritty of this, of how to manipulate that. I'm probably not that person. So, but I want to let you know that that's the third way. There's easy ease, there's doing it by hand, and then there's using the graph editor. And again, this is something that you will see in a lot of different motion graphics tools because it's using just transformative properties. It's basically mapping speed across time in terms of position, scale, rotation, skew, all those great things. So that is about ease in, ease out with your hand. I'm sure it looks a little bit funky right now. Again, I can't play it back in real time because my cache is very chuggy, but hopefully yours isn't so bad and you'll be able to see your stuff render in real time.